there are so many things out there in the world that we have no control over. We all know the list is endless. There's so many things that are causing stress, distress, and disturbance in everyday's life, really. However, finding the circle of our influence where we have the impact, where we can make the real impact and change in our life is really the mastery, is really the key to a happy and healthy life. Hello, everybody. My name is Andi. I'm here today from Art Cacao to tell you 6 easy to follow steps and strategies, methods that you can implement into your life pretty much straight away to ensure that you have a more balanced, happier, and hopefully healthier life. Because we were born in this planet Earth, this beautiful planet, and what we're doing here is to make most out of this experience that we were given between birth and death. And you know what? You can spend your whole life fighting and resisting about things that are just happening and unfolding in front of you. Or you can choose to make peace of that, live with that, learn how to face and let go that you cannot change, and learn how to make the change that you can have the influence on. I've learned in a very, very hard way on my own skin how to cope with acute and chronic stress as well. I was diagnosed with inflammatory bowel disease 6 years ago, and at that time my son was diagnosed with autism and my father was diagnosed with cancer, and there were so many challenges in life and everything else on the top of that, you know, building a career in the corporate environment, paying the bills, the finances, and so on. Challenges are endless, but learning how to navigate and how to cope, face with those is where your secret, where your mastery is. So I would like to help you with that. And I would like to go through a method, a process that hopefully will give you some tool to do that in your life. This summer, I traveled to Europe. We went by car to Hungary from Ireland. So we were on the road for 6 weeks, and believe me, there were some challenges along the way. However, there were a lot of learning, a lot of inspiration and motivation and confirmation that, you know, the techniques that I'm using, although there were some pitfalls, you can't really do everything 100% at all times. The method is really working. So that's what I'd like to show you today. But before I do that, let me just tell you what Zen means to me. Because finding your ZENness, even the most challenging life events, only possible if you know what you're looking for, what you're trying to achieve here. For me, ZENness is basically feeling calm, feeling in balance, feeling supported, held, listened to. And these kind of feelings coming from inside. I'm not expecting these feelings to come from the external world. I've learned how to generate, how to create these feelings from inside out. So now I invite you to take a moment, and if you're not driving, because some of you might be watching the recordings while driving, so unless you're driving, then don't close your eyes, but maybe take a moment, close your eyes, and just imagine, what does Zen mean to me? How do I know that I'm okay? Maybe do a body scan from the top of your head downwards, down to your feet, and see how your body is, how your body is feeling. Any tension? And can you verbalize for yourself, what does Zen mean to me? And if you've done that, put an intention out there. Why are you here? Why are you here on this call? What is your intention? What are you trying to achieve, learn, understand? And when you're ready, come back here and listen to my statements. What if I told you that you are already in peace? You are already in the Zen mode. You are completely whole, fulfilled, healthy, and happy. You might think I'm crazy, right? You wouldn't be here if it was true. That's what you're thinking, probably. But that is actually true. Happiness is default, is there. The only reason why you can't see it or you don't feel it, because there are many blocks along the way in your sight that's hindering you from seeing it. So basically, we're not trying to create happiness. What we're trying to do here is we are removing those obstacles that's blocking you from enjoying and experiencing the most out of this life. Because life is about experiencing life. Life is not about, oh, I like it this way or I don't like it this way. Life is not about chasing all the time what I like. It's not about manipulating my environment the way how I prefer life to be. And it's not about running away from things I don't like. It's about experiencing life as it is, as it has been and is unfolding for us in front of us, without judging whether or not I like it, I don't like it. And once we are able to do that and just look at all the events, all the things around us with a mind of a curious child, we actually creating the state of happiness for ourselves in that moment. And bringing you through the methods, the steps, the strategies, the 6 steps, I'm going to introduce that to you using an acronym. And that acronym, guess what is going to be? I'm going to type it in the chat box. We're going to use an easy to remember acronym, ZENness. So when you are trying to remember the learnings from today, if you remember ZENness, you can possibly call and remember the points that this acronym covers for you. So first letter is Z. Z for zooming in and zooming out. That's a very important step. How many times you find yourself lost in one particular detail that you actually forget what the bigger picture is about? And you are not concerned about what's going to happen in the whole thing. You are just only concerned with one little thing that your mind is focused on. I give you an example. You are in front of the door of a huge warehouse. The warehouse is black, dark. So you see nothing in it. But that warehouse is full of interesting stuff. So you are given a headlight. You just put it in your forehead, a tiny bit of headlight, not too strong, just enough to see things in front of you. And you're asked to enter into this dark, pitch dark, complete dark warehouse. You go in, and what can you see in this warehouse? You might see a chair or a car or a pair of shoes, some clothes, and you get out. And then your friend, your family, your boss, somebody else from randomly goes into the warehouse. They are given the exact same light. They go in there and they see parrots, giraffes, they see dogs, cats, And then they come out, and another person goes in, they see different plants and so on. And then you are having a conversation, what's in the warehouse? And that actually turns out to be a huge fight, because you're claiming that there are clothes there, and the other's claiming there are animals there, and the other claiming there are plants there. Who is right? All of you right. And you know what? None of you right, because in the warehouse there is everything beyond what you can see. But you only saw that your headlight shed light on. That little beam that went on, that was in your focus. That was in front of your nose. That's all what you could see. You had no idea what was beyond or behind or, anywhere else, because you didn't look. So basically, that's what's happening in life as well. What you are focusing on, that's what's happening. That's what's in your mind. That's the thoughts that you are generating, you're given to your brain to think about. Another example would be if you go into a party, you're invited to a house party, and there is a TV, maybe Formula One is on or some favorite sports program, and you sit down and you're so into that race, you forget what's going on around you. And you were completely zoomed in that little flat screen TV with the program. By the time the race is over, you look around and everybody is gone. The music is gone, the people is gone, the party is over. And you are wondering what was happening. Well, what was happening, you were lost completely in your focus, and you didn't recognize what was going around you. But when you zoomed out, you looked around, that's when it makes sense. Okay, I wasn't here. I was here physically, but I wasn't zoomed in with the bigger picture. Again, let's say you need to use the toilet very urgently, but there is another person needs to use the toilet urgently, and you start arguing who was here first, who should use the toilet. And 5 minutes later, you're still arguing. But if you had let the person go first, you would have finished your business already by now, helping yourself. But no, you decided to stay in the conversation, just ensuring that you were right because you were here first. But the bigger picture is help yourself. At the end of the day, what is your intention? What are you trying to achieve? What you're willing to see and zoom out from. So Z is for zooming in and zooming out. E stands for, in ZENness, eliminating yourself. So many times in the past when I didn't know what to do or how to do, and I was very, very stressed, I was told, don't take it personally. And I was like, how can I not take it personally? I am involved. I cannot not take it personally. But you know what? You can. And I tell you how. I didn't know that time how. So when you are in a conversation, when you're in a stressful situation, it could be anything. A conversation with your family or with your boss, or it could be a meeting, an argument, a performance review, or anything really. You step out from that conversation. You can do that in two different ways. One, you are stepping out physically. When you feel the tension is heating up, and it would be a heat of a moment reaction, which you recognize is not the right one or not the best of yours, you can decide to step out from the conversation physically and excuse yourself to go to the toilet, to have a fresh air. Just tell it's too much, you need a little bit of a distance, and you come back, or anything and anything that works for you. When we were traveling to Hungary, I told you I would tell you a story about that. We had a very heatful, a very, very heated conversation with a manager in a hotel. We arrived to a hotel at very late, like it was 9 o'clock in the evening, and we were driving all day from 6 a.m. in the morning. So we were tired, I'm telling you. And we arrived, we wanted to check in, And the room that was available for the 4 of us was a 3-bath room. And we were like, we are 4 of us, like we won't fit on 3 baths. And the manager said, there's nothing I can do. And you know what? I felt the tension was coming, and I was ready to shout that how dare, and here is mine. But what happened was my little daughter needed to go to the toilet. So I thought, okay, I will be back. So I went away, and while we were a little bit out there, I washed my face as well, and I took some deep breath, and I was busy with helping with my daughter. Bought me time to really realize what's more important. Having an argument for another 30 to an hour, which is leading nowhere, because if there is no room, there's no room, right? So what's the point? Yes, I can make a claim after that, but that's a conversation for another day. Here and now, 9 o'clock, we are tired. What is my priority? My priority is lay down and sleep. Not to win an argument, not to prove what my rights are, just to lay down. So that space gave me a time to go back and very calmly telling the manager, right, I just need a bath. And what happened was somebody overheard our conversation, and he offered to swap a room with us because he had a 4-bathroom. And that was solved. I couldn't believe it was happening. I so accepted that we would need to sleep in 3 baths. So we needed to wait another 30 minutes while we were given actually a complimentary dinner. And they made the room up for us. And by 10 o'clock, we were so peacefully, comfortably asleep with our belly full as well, for free. So it was an amazing experience. And if we had been arguing or, trying to prove our right, we would have not, I'm sure, getting this opportunity to swap a room and get this nice complimentary dinner as well. And the other thing, how you can remove yourself from the conversation, depersonalize the conversation from you, is trying to step back mentally and trying to imagine that you and the other person or persons are on a stage in a theater, and you are sitting in the audience and you're watching a show. And that show is not about you. Whatever the other person is putting on is about them. And yes, it's about them, rarely about the situation, but definitely not about you. What they are saying, how they are saying, it's a projection of how they feel, they think, and they experience. And once you step out a little bit from this and you think, okay, this person needs help. And just by watching her, him, them, listening to her, him, or them, you're already helping to soothe the heat of the conversation. Again, it has nothing to do with you. You don't even need to react. Never mind going into this back and forth battle. And it works very well, absolutely perfectly well. I've experienced this as well a lot of times, and with the kids actually working too. Another thing that you can eliminate is a thought. So don't forget, your action, what you are doing, is based on a feeling, what you desire, what you feel. And that feeling comes from a thought. What you can do is get rid of that thought or change that thought. I'll give you an example. We went to Guatemala last year to the source of cacao, and my thought was, scorpions are bad. Scorpions are dangerous. Scorpions are gonna kill me. And I was so afraid. I was actually having panic attacks as well, just knowing there are scorpions there. And when I first saw the first scorpion, I completely freaked out. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to spend a week here. So what are my options? The scorpions won't go away, right? So let's be realistic. They're going to stay there. And I made the decision to stay there. So how can I make this experience pleasantful instead of stressful? So here it comes. I decided scorpions are good. Scorpions are necessary. And it was easier to do when I did some research conversations, and I learned that those scorpions, particularly in that region, are very good to your immune system. If they do sting you, they're actually helping you to boost your immune system. So I chose to believe this. And I'm not saying I made, friends with scorpions. I was only there for a week, but I learned how to accept them. And by changing my thought that they are okay, they are not danger and they're not going to kill me, they are actually useful or could be useful, made my experience completely different. And that was only one thing. I changed my statement in my head. ZENness, next letter is N for no numbing. How many times, if you feel that something is not working out the way I want, I don't like it, or I want to chase the pleasure, I want to recreate the experience, what I do is I numb what I really feel. I don't face it. And by numbing, like, people can take pills, alcohol, or travel, or whatever way. They just don't want to face what it really is in front of them. So my suggestion is don't numb. If it hurts, hurts. How many times we engage in a conversation every single day? How are you? I'm fine, thank you. And how many times was it true? What if for once you said, you know what, actually, I'm not well, I'm not fine. I have challenges, I'm working through them, and maybe share the experience so the others can learn, but recognizing that I'm not okay. Instead of pretending I'm fine and then just numbing it, suppressing it as deep as I possibly can. And guess what? More layers you put on any pain points, more difficult is going to be addressed. And at the end of the day, that pain, it's like a weed. From above the ground, they will grow up to the surface over many, many layers, no matter what. And they will find a way out, but it's going to be more and more difficult to kill them at the end of the day, because they would be so established with their roots all along the ground. So if you do that, that's a decision. But this is going to be a hard one to face and takes longer time. It's not impossible, but it's going to take a lot longer time. Like you're peeling the onion and you go to the little core of the onion, and that's where you need to address, that's what you need to face. So that's my suggestion, face it. ZENness, double N, the second N is for nourishing. Nourish your body. Yes, you can nourish with organic, whole foods. And it's a completely different topic. I'm not going to go into that too deep, because of course we are so confused. What's good for me? Sometimes we don't know. We think we're doing the right thing, then it turns out it's not. We think it's good for me, but actually it's not. We don't know. So do your best. Don't be too hard on yourself. Do what you can do. Based on my experience, when I traveled to the source of cacao, was as long as you know the source, or you believe that the source where the food is coming from is nourishing, organic, it's pretty much all you can do. When the source is a shelf from the supermarket, that's not so much. But still, you do the best you can do. And that's with your body. What about your mind? What are you feeding your mind with? Is it nice, relaxing music, or inspirational podcast, or some like interesting books, or some like self-developmental opportunities, courses, learnings? What you giving to your mind? Or you listening to news all the time? What is the way that you're feeding your mind with? This is your choice. That's where you have the influence, the control. That part, it's in your circle of influence. You decide. And the last but not least, when it comes to nourishing, is your soul. What does your soul want? What does your soul really desire? And it's so difficult question. How do I know? And I tell you two methods, tools, techniques, you can find that out. Most of the adults trying to remember and reintroduce into the adult life what they loved doing when they were a child. So I'm suggesting, if you are open to do very light meditation, maybe gently close your eyes again. If you're listening to the recordings and you are driving, don't close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and out. In and out. And imagine a stairs that's going down. And start going down on that stairs. And every step you take down brings you closer and closer to the past, to your 6-year-old self. And when you went down to the stairs far enough to meet your 6-year-old self, there will be a door, that golden shiny door, and you open the door and you meet your 6-year-old self. First of all, go there and hug her or him. Give her or him kisses, love, and ask her, what do you like to do? What's that makes your soul happy? If you can't ask or you don't want to ask, maybe observe. Just sit down for a moment, let your little 6-year-old go away a little bit, running around, and observe. Where are you? Where is your 6-year-old self is at the moment? What is she or he doing? What is she like having fun with, or how? And just take your time observing. You can come back to this and do it later in more depth. And with that experience and knowledge, thank your little 6-year-old self for helping to remember what you really like doing, what really feels and feeds your soul. And locate that golden door and go back to the stairs, go up to the present moment, back to your body, and try to implement them. You know now what made you really happy, and just bring them back to your life one by one. And if you're not into meditation, that's no problem. Maybe try to find a picture of your childhood, see what kind of clothes you were wearing, where did you live, whom did you play with, who was around you, who supported you, how did you play, and so on. And if there are no pictures, try to ask people or do some research that area where you were growing up. And with that, try to experience and experiment. What does it do for your soul now? How do you feel? How does it make you feel? Is it singing, dancing, doing sport, pottery, painting, whatever it is? Just do it. Do it. You can do it. Right. Next one is E, ZENness. E for essential elements. So many things in life is available for us for free, but we decide, you remember the warehouse and the flashlight? We decide not to look. But there are so many things that are for free. For example, 4 elements, earth. How many times have you walked barefoot on the ground? Not too many times. Maybe because you were told that you can easily catch cold, or maybe you were told that actually your feet's gonna be dirty. Well, try it. That really helps you to connect with earth. Earth is a very important element, gives you the support, the shelter. This is where your food is coming from. This is where you are coming from. And this is where you are going to go back to. Use that connection, feel that connection. And if for whatever reason you don't want to do that, Maybe you want to give a gentle massage to your feet using even aroma essential oils that also helps you to feel that this is the point where you're connected to Earth. The next one is wind, fresh air. How many times you were told, get out, have some fresh air? I don't want to put time to this, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Obviously, more you can be outdoors is the better. But even just once a day, going out, taking a deep breath in and out, feeling the breeze, the wind, the fresh air, expanding your lungs, going into your beautiful body, chest, feeling the expansion, the room, the vitality. Bringing the attention to this movement doesn't take too much time, and it's free, but actually gives you the calmness, the zenness, the peace, the balance straight away. Then water. We were all told, we know that we have to consume at least 2 liters water a day. Absolutely essential to keep your body nourished. More is the merrier. 2, 3, even 4 liters a day. Also, if you can find a place where you can, even if you don't want to swim, dip into a cold Irish Sea is extremely therapeutical. It brings you so much energy, vitality. Cold water is great. If you are not nearby to any seaside, seashore, just find maybe a river or springs or something that's cold. And you don't need to be there long. I don't want you to get cold. We talk about 2 minutes, 5 minutes if you're really experienced in that. That's all what it takes to freshen up your body, just get some vitality, life, while you are calming your body and bringing the balance back to yourself, to your core. And the last but not least is fire, warming, feeling the warmth. And feeling the warmth around us in a warm room is one thing, but how can we warm ourselves from inside out? Heart opening cacao ceremony is definitely one way of doing it. But another thing that's more available and common, use spices. Spice up your life physically, like as a face value as well. Put spices in your food when you cook. Explore, experiment the various spices. Different nation, Indian, Mexican, Hungarian, whatever it is. Just try out. I bet you're using 5 to 10 spices maximum because that's what you used to, comfortable, and so on. Experience and find your inner fire from inside out. If you order takeout, you still can make it your own with those different spices. So that was essential elements. And in ZENness, the last but not least letter is S, and S for support. I wouldn't be here today if I hadn't gotten support. I couldn't do by myself. As I told you at the very beginning, people were telling me, don't take it personally. I had no idea how. I needed to find a support network, a coach, a method, something, a toolbox that helped me to find how to do that. So support is essential. There are so many supports variants out there. Just find what fits you the most. We are, as I said, different. We all having a different experience on this planet Earth, even at this moment in time. So find what suits you the most at this point in time. If my program would be something that you feel, connected to, or you'd like to more know about, what I'm offering is a ZEN CU Academy, which is a 3-month total transformation program. So by Christmas, basically, you could meet your new you, and basically not just you, but the family around you. Because when you are creating this zenness and balance and happiness from inside out, guess what? It will have a ripple effect on the people around you as well. So instead of changing your partner, your parents, your kids, your manager, your neighbor, why don't you start changing the way how you think about things, how you feel about things, and the actions you're taking about things that you have the control over, because you have no control over those people I just mentioned. So my Zen CEO Academy starts whenever you're ready. It's so easy to participate in. You spend 9 individual private one-on-one hours with me. And I have a big toolkit, a toolbox of various methods that you can use and completely tailor to your own needs over that 3 months period of time, because you're going to be evolving. So the support is going to be where you are at that point in time. And that support, it's an individual support as well as opportunity to participate in the group programs and the community that we are trying to build here to support each other, go out for a walk or a chat or a sharing circle, in addition to the cacao ceremony, meditation, sound healing, and the individual coaching, homeopathy, cacao meditation, sound healing sessions too. And that's a very, very intensive program. People who have already started my program experience total transformation after the first session. They managed to get out of their mind into their heart straight away after the first session. And the investment is very little. For the 3 months, it's only 999 euros, which can be paid in a very easy 4 installments of 250 euros. So it is also available for you. But again, if you find something else that you would need more this time, that's absolutely perfect. Find your own way, create your own happiness from inside out. And even if you just follow the ZENness method, structure, steps would give you a pretty good start. So before you go, I'd like to offer you a 20-minute free consultation where we can connect on Zoom or in person. I can show you what's in my toolbox, what's available, and what is possible for you. And if you're interested to book in, or if you're interested to sign up for my program straight away, get in touch with me at info@archcacao.com, and we can arrange that straight away with you. So thank you so much. I hope now you have a little idea where to start, how to navigate your stress nest. And I would love to hear what's your takeaway from this call. So if you'd like to share in the chat box, that would be fabulous. Or you can unmute yourself, or you can email me to info@archcacao.com if you are watching the recordings. So let me look at the questions. In ZENness, can you repeat what's the first N for? Absolutely. It's no for numbing. So no more numbing, no more suppressing the pain. Face, when it hurts, it hurts. No numbing. Zoom in and out. Is that your takeaway? I would love to hear. Yes, great. Thank you, Aggie. And if there is another takeaway, Michelle, you might want to share with us, that would be fabulous. If not, that's okay too. Do you have any questions? It's a complete privilege to be live on the call, because now that's your opportunity to ask me any questions. Okay, great. If there's no question, let me just tell you one thing that normally asked from me about 2 things. One, what if I miss a session? So basically, the individual appointments with me is so flexible, so we arrange it. And if you cannot make, we always can change that. Obviously, 24 hours notice, something that I would love for you to give me, but that's absolutely no problem to make it work. For the group sessions, so we have 1 group sessions each month at the moment until Christmas. These are on Saturday. But again, I don't know what's going to happen or how we're going to restructure next year. Having said that, although we have the group session on Saturday, we still meet up with the members of the ZEN CEO Academy on other days. For example, on the beach in Clontarf, Portmarnock, in the north side of Dublin, but we can easily go to the city centre as well. And those days and those happenings and meetings can take place any other time that the group agrees on, even, you know, Sunday or a weekday as well, lunchtime. Where are the sessions located? Very good question. Thank you. So my little therapy room, as you can see in the background, I'm located in Santry, Dublin 9. And this is where you are more than welcome to come and visit. Having said that, I'm so flexible, and based on arrangements, I would be more than happy to go to your place if that works for you better, and do a session in your own home, in the comfort of your own room, if that's what you'd like. And our group cacao ceremonies and sunbathing meditation sessions are in Santry Community Resource Centre in Dublin, just across the Northwood Park. You're very welcome. And just one more thing that I'd like to share. There was another question from another participant. If it was possible to have a different payment options, absolutely. So whatever way it works for you, as long as you put €150 deposit in, we start your session straight away, and all the remaining balance can be paid to meet your financial backgrounds. So if you are ready and that's what you need right now, the transformation, and feel the stressless, peaceful, zenful life, I'm here to help you. Finances will be sorted. Okay, I hope it was useful for you. If you can share your thoughts, your feedback, your takeaway with me, I would be honored to hear from you. And I look forward to connecting with you and have a 20-minute free session or straight away deep into the program, ensuring that you will meet your new you, the calm, the balanced you by Christmas. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.